Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll move along. And Helen, what do we got for a minute? Okay, one set of minutes for the commissioners meeting on February 10th, 2026. I would entertain a motion. So moved. Second. Okay, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor? Aye. Any reports, Helen?
Yeah, we got the budget detail from January. In the clerk and recorder.
Okay, if you would show such as, please, receiving from clerk and recorder, or am I looking at that right?
No, these are just the budget details, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's just what we look at
It's
to
not-
make sure everything's on budget, it's not any income that like.
Oh,
clerk and
all right.
recorder makes,
Okay.
it's just our budget.
We don't need to sign this one off.
No, no,
Okay.
Yeah.
they just send that to us so we can review it, and make
Thank
sure
you.
everybody's on
Thank
cue with their
And
budget.
you can-
All right. Correspondence. The only thing that we've received is from individual by the name of Joe Smouse on the north side of the county in reference to Holmes Gulch. Other than that, there was nothing else. So
we did get-
did you have any?
Yeah, the fuel tax map came in.
Oh.
Do you guys want to look at that before I get it to Bear or? give it to Bear?
I don't typically look at that one.
Commissioners, do you have anything else in terms of correspondence?
I heard from the state of Montana, the Department of Transportation, they're looking to reduce the speed limit on the eastbound side of Homestead. Cause it's like if anybody drives from Butte to Whitehall, you see the trucks have to slow down to, I think, down to 25 in some places.
Right.
Yeah. They're trying to, the truck driver's been complaining about it for years, and they're finally looking at it, and they figured out the technology in the trucks and the braking systems are all better now, so they want to make it, I think, closer, maybe 45 instead of 25. So they just want our support on it, so we're gonna talk about it in a meeting on the 10th, is that right, Nolan? So we'll put it on the agenda and have anybody that wants somebody comment on that before we actually sign off on it, so I think that was all I had for correspondence.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, moving along, calendar review then, please.
Okay, tomorrow, solid waste safety at 7:30. Whitehall transportation at 1. Clancy water and sewer at 6:30. And on Thursday, survey review committee at 1:30 and RMDC board meeting at 3:30. And it's Commissioner Kirsch's Friday. Should nothing on Monday.
Anything else, commissioners?
The only thing I have to add is the coffee and
Oh, with the-
communication with the judges down in
Court.
Dillon. I don't know if that's Supreme Court or District Court, but I plan to go down to Dillon that morning and see what's up. I don't know if anybody else is planning on going.
I don't plan on going down. I talked to her about that.
Okay,
Yeah, I was there when you did.
okay, yeah, I think that's the only addition I had.
When was that?
What's that?
When was that?
Thursday morning, I think it's at 10:30.
The Beaverhead Courthouse, Beaverhead County Courthouse.
I think that may just be the Chief Justice Commissioner.
Is it? Okay,
I think it is.
I don't know what, they didn't say what they were talking about. They just invited us to come talk to the judges, so
I think it's a dog and pony show.
I like those.
Do the dogs ride the ponies?
Hour and a half drive.
For coffee, you can get
Yeah,
that
just
at your house.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where we are now. Calendar review. Okay, commission reports. I'll go ahead and start it off. Okay, on the February 12th, which was a Thursday, I met with a CTAC meeting, which is a Community Transition Advisory Committee in Whitehall. And basically what I'm going to report on is the Golden Sunlight Mine. They have 12 trucks per day. They're running 7 days a week and 1,056 days of safety. And they have 55 full-time employees with 55 contractors. And right now they've got 93,000 tons of material And out of that, they've taken 7,400 tons of concentrate. So for the example would be is if you had 10 tons of material, they're taking out 7 tons of concentrate. So. And, okay. Then we had a MACO, which is the Montana Association of County Commissioners in Billings, this last Monday through Wednesday. The ones that we were, or at least I attended, was the wildlife counties, and what it was I learned, and I'm sure Commissioner Doolittle's that got some more to add to that. They now have a grizzly dashboard that you can go on the website with or for. Also a black bear dashboard and a chronic waste dashboard. So if you want to see the percentage of what's going on, you can get on and they've got all those listed as such. So. And then that same day, what was the next day, Tuesday, was the Land Use Planning and Development Committee. What I learned there is for the Montana Weed Control Association. They have what they've called SJ 42, which is a study of the laws, money, staff, and non-compliance with those folks that residents that don't comply with what they're supposed to be doing within the weed district. So it's giving them the authority. And that's about all in that one. Justice and Public Safety Committee, I didn't really see a lot out of that. They spoke about victims of crime and domestic violence. And then basically how the updated 911 program and statewide radio updates are. And then the GIS readiness for the next generation. And then the one we had, which was the hard rock mining counties, which we're involved with, like Stillwater, Butte Silver Bowl, and I know I'm missing them. Anyway, we were advised from Butte or from JP over there that they're going to do another mine underground. They're going through the formalities right now, and possibly it has tungsten, and I don't recall the other mineral whatsoever, unless Commissioner Doolittle does. So they're looking at starting that, and it looks like that could be a big project for quite a few years yet. So that's about all I have. So I guess I turn it to you, Commissioner Doolittle, just to add it to any of mine.
I attended those same classes as I sit on some of the same committees. We did go over some community mental health stuff, which was basically a panel with the question and answer things that people would answer. And we actually had a senator there from the state who gave a presentation on some stuff he's trying to get done. We spent an hour and a half on the statewide mental health today, which was kind of the same thing. Just a continuation of it. We did some updates from our congressional delegations. They had a lot of them there. He did show up in person and had lunch and basically discussed some fire stuff, some timber stuff. One of the important things I think he said is there's lots of training and there's lots of models out there of what the fire departments do within a municipality, a city, or a town. There's nothing out there that governs wildfire or how it's gone about, even though we do it probably more often than ever happens in the city. And that's where a lot of our municipality fires come from, is wildland fire. And there's really nothing out there. They just say, go fight here's some water, go fight it. And they set up a big camp. I mean, if you really want to know, talk to Doug, but there's really, so they're looking at some of that. And wildland firefighters really, they work so many months out of the year, and that's about it. And then they just turn them loose. So they're not getting a lot of the training and the pay and the benefits that your municipality fire departments are getting that are full-time, or even the volunteers for that matter. So it was a pretty interesting conversation regarding that. That was about it that I had down there. I did have a mental health local advisory committee that I attended via Zoom, because being at MACO made me sick. Thanks to all of the 150 people that showed up there for that. That was fun. They had a good presentation from a lady by the name of Rose. I would try to pronounce her last name, but I'd butcher it and it would be ugly. So if you really want to know, I wrote it down, and you can come ask me and try to pronounce it yourself. she put on a good presentation about behavioral health and some, I believe she had a place in Jefferson County.
She's with Benchmark, but she
Yeah.
also has her own, she's a BCBA board certificated analyst that workshops and
So I think we're gonna look at some of that. The Friendship Center's putting on it was supposed to be last last Friday. And they had a bunch of people sick also, so they didn't do it. So that will be this Friday in I think it's a Zoom thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. I wrote it down, but I couldn't read my own writing, so. Um, And that was about it for that. I had a Many Rivers Whole Health Governing Board meeting on Monday morning, where we went over the audit status for 2025, a financial report, and our HR data from that group. They got 19 open positions right now, and they're having a hard time filling them. And they talked about a job fair they're gonna have, and I believe they're gonna be looking for a new CEO for that. So that's about all I have.
I got one more thing and I apologize. Also, Doug was there. He helped do a class on emergency management. And where a lot of, believe it or not, some of the county commissioners didn't really know how it all worked. I would ask at the same time, Doug, is there anything you'd like to expound on that as for that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it was a good opportunity I'm the president of the Montana Emergency Managers Association, and we were up there with, the state of Montana, and the lieutenant governor was also there. We just kind of had a panel because we're going over some of the challenges that are facing emergency management not just in Montana, but nationally, and some of the issues that we're gonna have to be looking at over the years. So, it was rather a broad topic and hard to go into and with a lot of specificity because but we had 2 hours and I thought we had some pretty good conversation with commissioners from across the state. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kirsch.
All right, last week on Wednesday, probably the snowiest, windiest day of the week, they did the building inspection on the clinic over there. They did the inspection and the appraisal, so we got the inspection back already and it looks okay. I'll forward that to you guys so you can look at it. The appraisal has yet to come in, so once we get both of those, we'll have to get together again and discuss. We had a JLEC meeting Wednesday afternoon. Quite a few things happening with JLDC. Their administrative lady is pregnant and will be giving birth in May and probably 12 weeks off. So they're trying to figure out what to do with that, if they're gonna hire somebody temporarily or she's not even sure if she'll come back after she has a baby, but things are kind of up in the air with their admin. Yellowstone Boys Girls Ranch starting their new group home. I guess they're moving forward with it now. They were gonna do it and stop. Now they're started again. So hopefully they get shovels in the ground out there. The Whitetail Center down there in Whitehall, Department of Revenue has officially leased that area, the biggest area of that building down there. So that'll be good for JLDC to get that rent.
Who rented it?
Department of Revenue.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what I thought, but
Tizer Gardens is very close to being purchased, but they have a problem with covenants up there, I guess, that the covenants say there's no ability to have businesses within that subdivision or whatever, so they're trying to get the covenants changed, even though it's been a business for as long as I can remember. I guess that's against the covenants, so the new owners got to work through that, get the covenant. They're going to change the covenants before they buy it, of course. They can't rely on the covenants getting changed and buy it, or buy it before that. The water rights for the what is it, the Tippett district down there are filed now. I guess everything's on track they'll have legal water down there now. What else did we have? Clancy School Gym, I guess, is reverting back to the grade school. I don't know. Oh, Bruce knows more about that than I do. Why the Clancy School, they redid it, remodeled it and everything, and now it's reverting back to the school. I don't know if it was a certain amount of years leased,
the
Lindsay?
old gym?
it was a 3-year lease.
A 3-year.
And then with the plan to, the old gym, they set it all up, but it was just kind of a volunteer board group that really wanted to get going, but then they have the opportunity to renew it. The school's gonna take it on.
So there was ARPA money and all that spent on that gym to make it usable again, but it sounds like the school's open to leaving it, so it's a public use.
Mhm.
They're not gonna just take it over. I guess they're gonna kind of leave it the way it's functioning now, where people can rent it or whatever for whatever function, so that sounds good. I was just surprised it was going back to the school after they spent a whole bunch of money and resources on it, so.
I think it's easier for the school to take on, because right now it's Mickey Senechel doing it all.
Yeah,
And so it was a lot for her, so I think this was a little bit easier, and the school can do the insurance, and so they don't have to charge people as much.
yeah,
But they are, part of the plan is that it has to be available to community and not just the school.
not school, okay, perfect. Good deal. They're working on financial fitness classes. The GLDC group is working with Valley Bank, is it Valley Bank down in there
Correct.
in Whitehall? And they're gonna do some, financial fitness classes for anybody that's interested. I think they're doing one in Whitehall and Boulder and Tryon, Montana City, I believe. So if anybody's interested in learning financial stuff, that's a good opportunity. There'll be more stuff coming out on that in the future. Clancy Days is in June. GLDC got a grant to help kind of administer that function. So I'm sure Bruce will probably be helping with that, but the GLDC will also be helping with that. Seems like it's getting bigger and more popular every year, if it's not snowing or raining.
June 13th.
June 13th, okay. The other thing, I'm surprised you didn't report on this, Golden Sunlight, I'm not sure what his actual label is up there, but Chuck is retiring, huh? In
April.
April?
Yeah.
He kind of runs the whole place, so
He's second.
he's second on the totem
And,
pole, okay.
Safety officer is gonna take his spot. Oh, can't think of his name off the top of my head.
So that'll be a big change for Golden Sunlight Mine, because Chuck's been doing that for a long time. He's really good to work with. I'll rip through this real fast, Mr. Chairman. Southwest Montana Youth Partners. Not much going on there. The daycare over here, they want to move a wall out to make more room for their little kids, I guess. That was really most of the information at that meeting. They go through a lot of information, but nothing really of any importance. Met with Congressman Downing on the 19th. That was last Thursday. He stopped in just to see what was going on and give us some information on what was going on up on the hill. And probably the biggest thing I got from that conversation is that everybody watches the news and it sounds like nothing is getting done up on the hill right now. It's just like the Republicans against the Democrats. He says couldn't be farther from the truth. They're passing bills, they're working together, they're getting things done. Business is happening up there. No matter what the news says, there is stuff happening up there. So that was a breath of fresh air coming right from the congressman. So. Let's see, anything else worth reporting on? I went to Mr. Beeler's government class yesterday. I think every elected official
Everybody's been there.
in the county gets to go visit Mr. Beeler's class. They had some great questions, a lot of federal political questions, which we don't deal with at our level, but they like to talk about it. And I'm glad they give me their questions ahead of time, because getting the kids to talk is almost impossible. You tell them what you're doing and try to get conversation going, but they're all clamped shut. So, but I think they're listening and they're learning, and Mr. Beeler does a good job of explaining stuff. So, met with Billings. What is that? Housing. What's that stand for? HAB, Housing Authority. Authority of Billings.
CRO, Community Resource, something.
Anyways, the legislature passed a kind of an affordable workforce housing bill in 2023, and they're just finally starting to roll that out and what it's going to look like. So there'll be more to come on that, but it looks pretty exciting. Every county will be able to. They're actually doing instead of just financial assistance, they're doing like building and design assistance to put together almost like little communities or houses or whatever for workforce housing. But it's pretty complicated.
Help with financing, help with down payments.
Yeah, it looks like a great program, so there'll be more to come on that. We got a lot of work to do on it before we have too much real information on it, but it's gonna help us, the county, for sure, with affordable housing for our workforce, so that'll be a good thing. And I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. That brings us up to right now.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, usually this is a time for opportunity for public comment, but right now we have a time specific. And Lois Olson is here from the Tri-County Fire Update. We appreciate you coming, and if you'd like to Let us know.
It's free, there's a PowerPoint.
Is
Well,
there,
it
is
has
it
a
plugged in?
PowerPoint up there, yeah,
It
I
is,
plugged it
it's up
in,
there.
if you go to the bottom down there, go over. Oh, no,
All right,
the red P. yeah.
you've already got it up there.
Yeah, I got it up
You
there.
Make it easy.
Do you want me to run the mouse or do you want?
Yeah, you sure can, Melissa. You can keep at your own pace
Move
there.
it, I'll move it right along, hopefully. Uh-oh. And I have to see where the guy.
Yeah, to test for your eyes. when you use things.
What are we looking for?
I just
The
wanted
mouse.
to do the
Oh.
slideshow,
Oh, I didn't turn that part on.
right? There. Is that it?
Yeah, go to the
Sounds like
top
it.
left and say begin show.
From
Here?
beginning,
Oh, I can't see it.
down,
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 There you
right
go.
there.
there you go.
There you
takes-
go. It takes a village. Is it okay if I say?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I'm Lois Olson. I'm president of the board for the Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group. I believe I've spoken to the commissioners before. Whoa.
Click somewhere else.
Maybe I shouldn't run this.
You left-handed, that's what the problem is.
Oh, it is. Does that help? It does. I was one of the chosen few for a minute. And some of this is kind of a generic thing. I'm not gonna go through it all. I think everybody knows who we are and what we do. We're a 501c3. Represent these three counties, Broadwater, Jefferson, and Lewis and Clark. And our big thing is public education, community protection, and wildland fire mitigation. These are the big things we do. The education, as I said, the free property wildfire risk assessments, which is, we're trying to get that word out to people. They're grant funded, they're free. We'll send a field specialist to the home. And it's like an hour, hour and a half, and they go all the way around your property. We get back a really nice electronic document that you can have, taking pictures, and they just go through all the things at your home and your property that might be of a wildfire risk. And then if you have property, or if you want this even in, like we've got, we can do inside a municipality, we can do assessments, and in Helena, we do them too. So even if you don't have property, we can do the fuel treatment plant. And that's free also to the homeowner. We just do that. And honestly, it's free. There's no strings, I promise. We also manage the Firewise demonstration garden down in Montana City. The trustees there at the fire department have let us use that land. It's about 1/2 acre. And Jefferson County was our heroes who got it kicked off with the seed money that got it all started. Now it's really a beautiful garden. It's worth a stop. Just north of the roundabout there, right at the fire station. And then we do cost sharing to implement fuel mitigation, the actual mitigation projects, when we have money. I'll go into a little bit of that. We try to do a 75% grant funded, 25% homeowner share. So it is a really good deal if we have the money. And then some general plan. So we actually didn't have a lot of presence in Jefferson County until about 24. And so this tells you the acres that we're doing there is about 100, I should have the specific numbers, but just under 160 acres that we did last year. And that's quite a jump up from 2024. And there is so much interest in North Jefferson County. We don't have much interest at all down in the south, but hopefully we'll eventually get there. But North Jefferson, we've got a lot. And then as far as grant funds that were expended, it was around $111,000 in grant funds that were given basically to the homeowners, and then they provided about 26,000, something like that. It's a really great program, and we're kind of out of money. So we hopefully will have some more coming in. And this is just so people know, how do we prioritize who gets funded? It's not subjective at all. It's just what time, when, what date did you sign your fuel treatment plan? And are you in an active grant area? And does that active grant area have funding? And that's it. It doesn't have anything to do with how much money you make or anything else. It's just who got in line and when they got in. And currently we have 26 people in the county with signed fuel treatment plans. We have another 50 or 60 probably that have the assessment done, but they haven't taken that next step to do the fuel treatment plan. And we always try to encourage people to do it on your own if you can, because you've got the plan, and if, you know, sometimes you can at least make some progress, at least right next to your home, and do some of the things the assessment pointed out. So for our current funding, what we have money to work with, we're wrapping up this BLM grant, and it's one that's nice because it will do anything, anywhere in the 3 counties, because we've got BLM land all over, so it will do anything, anywhere. But we are pretty much done with being able to do much in the way of fuel mitigation, and we're just gonna finish out the grant basically, and on the 1st of July, we're gonna cut off work with that. At the end of July, we'll apply. Well, we'll apply earlier, but at the end of July, we should get a new grant, should be a 5-year grant. And please don't quote me on this, but it should be $75,000 a year for 5 years. And then that covers the 3 counties. So it's a great grant, and it's one that we can rely on. We have applied for a number of small grants. The grant world is difficult. On the way here, I just read an email where we didn't get one that we applied for down in Broadwater County. So it's hard to get them, but we've done a video. Actually, our website is pretty cool. There's a lot of resources there. There's some really nice videos. One that we just did ourselves. It's about 9 minutes long. And there's another one that we did that was kind of Helena focused, but they're both out there. There's another one by an outfit called Fox, and it talks a lot to the wildland fire person issues. And it was really good. And they interviewed me about the garden, and they have quite a lot in it about the garden. And it's just a good source of stuff for people. The other thing we have out there is we have a property owner checklist. So if you didn't want to go through us at all, and you just wanted to think about how do you do this, it talks about our process. Also talks about things a homeowner ought to think about. We also have a list of contractors out there that we feel are good. They've got insurance, they work with our stuff. We don't ever contract directly with the contractor, the homeowner does that. But we keep these people on a list and work with them and recommend they'd be good folks to work with. We have a teacher training. We've got a little grant to do teacher training at the Firewise Demonstration Garden, and we're trying to get the schools involved. We have a bus fare if people would bring their classes out. Nobody came last fall, so we got the grant extended, but we could only get it until the end of April. So I'm kind of hoping for an early spring, but I also wouldn't mind 2 feet of snow in the middle of April. So anyway, we're trying to get the schools out there more, and I'm sure we'll put more emphasis on that. We have another grant that's wrapping up out here. The DNRC, it goes down to Jackson Creek and then all the way up to the Wilson Park boundary, and it goes over to the interstate. We can't get east of the interstate. These grants all have rules about where you can do them, where you can apply for them. And this particular one that's the most available to us has to be within 3 miles of an active Forest Service project. And so it puts us on that side of the interstate. We can't get across. And I keep talking to the Forest Service, say, at least go burn some piles up in Warm Springs Creek or something, but we'll get up there eventually. 4 active projects still going, 18.6 acres. We had 14 burns when I wrote this. We're down to 6, so 8 have gotten done. It's a little spooky out there right now. We're not really encouraging anybody on a south slope to do any kind of burning right now. The north is still kind of okay. And then this is just since the 1st of January, $34,000 in grant funds and $11,000 in homeowner. And the whole point of that really all goes into the contractors' pockets. They're small business people in the counties, and they're an important part of our economy. Oh, that's kind of small. Well, so this is exciting. I think that we have the treatment plan for Saddle Mountain Park. We did this with LaDana, in 2024 or something. It's been a couple of years. And the county didn't have money for treatment, so they've got this fuel treatment plan like I talked about with the prescription. And I believe that we have one of the government agencies, and I won't jinx this by saying who they are, but that they will come and use it as training, and they'll camp crews out there for the time that, if it's okay with everybody. that they'll camp crews out there and do the work for nothing. It will be a cut pile and then burn in the winter, so they would come back and make piles in winter. Would be a pretty cool thing, because they're surrounded, of course, by private ground. And, I was pretty excited when they said they could do it. They've done agreements with counties before, and that's really all they have to do is get the agreement finalized and then send it over and make sure you're okay with it. And okay with the prescription. They'll write their own prescription probably, but it'll be real close to ours. And what ours are is it's 15-foot spacing between the crown of a tree. And then you limb things up 20 feet tall, if 20 feet high, if it's is that right? Yeah, 20 feet high or a third of the height of the tree. If it's a really tall tree. Those are the basics. And anything that's little, take them out and try to get those trees the room to grow, to have some water, have nutrients, have some sunlight, and become larger, healthier trees. So that one's pretty exciting. So if you see a bunch of people out in the park, that's what they're doing. I talked about the BLM. So this is actually a request by us. Doug and I have talked about this, the Jefferson County Local Government Assistance Grant from the state of Montana. We can't apply directly, the county has to apply. And so our request is that you would we'll work with Doug on the application and stuff, but that you would make that request. They're just gold for us, because when we get these other bigger grants, if we get money to do the assessments, then we don't have to spend the grant money on the assessments. More can go to fuel mitigation, which is super expensive. It's actually anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 per acre to do fuel mitigation. It is an expensive proposition, so you need quite a bit of money to do very many acres. So as much that we could put into that, we'll do. And I just mentioned the Lewis and Clark County mitigation grant because any money that Lewis and Clark County gets means Jefferson County gets more, because it doesn't go up to Lewis and Clark County. So we're hoping for that one. It's actually coming through FEMA, which, it could happen sometime soon, we hope. So, and then we have a lot of private foundation grants. The grant world has really gotten tough through the government, as I think everybody knows. So we're trying to spread our dollars out and do some different things. And you do have some Title III funds, I believe, and we can spend money if you had any you wanted to give us. We don't want to take away from other programs that need more, but we put it to good use, and we would do with it whatever the county wanted, if it were assessments or whatever. So this is a new grant. I am so excited. We tried for this grant twice and got turned down. It's a hazardous fuel grant, and it's just about to come active. It should do about 20 properties for about 45 acres. It goes down to it's kind of similar to the other one that we've got down to Jackson Creek, to the interstate. And this one incorporates Lewis and Clark County and up to the city limits. And we already have 10 applications in the area. And the big thing, the problem we seem to have is, here, look at us, we exist. Take our money, go do an assessment for free. It seems to be hard for us to get the word out there. This one was such a disappointment. We had figured we got funded. This was a $500,000 grant to the county, $250,000 to Trico, $250,000 to DNRC. And it got triggered, and one of the things I have in here is a little bit of discussion on legislation. It got triggered because this is the story we understood, the fire suppression fund got overspent and they took away mitigation money. That makes no sense. No sense. If we have a bad fire year, the last thing we want to do is lose mitigation money. So there's a rumor that some of the money could come back. We understand if it does, the state's going to totally revamp what they did. So this was a highly rated project that got funded. It got us on that east side of the interstate to get some of that stuff up at Montana City and all the way down to Plains. So fingers crossed for that, but we don't know anything more than that. And I just always put a plug in for the garden because it's so much fun. It's a wonderful place to go. We do tours. I'm thinking I might do like a couple tours a month, just for people to come and wander around. It's open all the time. It's open to the public at any time. But maybe every other Thursday or something to give free tours. And we had a really cool grant that we also didn't get to work with the Helena Indian Alliance to add in some important cultural and medicinal plants. And develop a curriculum, again, trying to get the schools out there. And then this is a new place for us, and pardon me if I'm stepping into something. We're a nonprofit, we don't lobby. But this House Bill 883 is the one that got triggered. And that is a bad tie with suppression dollars to be tied to mitigation. So if anybody wants to send any comments into your state folks and say, hey, but can you update this bill? Can you change it? That would be a good one to target. And then HJR 62, I don't even speak the language very fluently. They're doing another study. Wildfire has been studied. The impacts on communities has been studied, but they're doing another one. And really, Montana does need to put some money into private property. It really people need some help. I hear from people all the time, it's like, well, they shouldn't have bought it if they can't take care of it. And a lot of people, number one, don't know that they bought something, they don't understand where they live in a fire ecosystem. And it's just darn expensive. And I do think that there's a way to put out grant dollars for what we do. The homeowner does their share, and then the grant does their share. So we put comments in on this, and I'm hoping that they'll move forward with something beyond a study, and maybe make a mitigation fund that stands on its own that isn't tied to fire suppression. And then the last one is all about insurance stuff. And we have a partner, well, I don't know. It's called Fire Safe Montana, and they are a statewide group. And they're working far more on the insurance than we are, but it's a huge, huge issue, and it's only going to get worse. So it's really important that the legislature starts to think about how to deal with it. People don't get a benefit from their insurance from the work that they do with us on their property. There's no way to get that back. The insurance tends to be up here at like 30,000 feet. And so they're not looking necessarily at individual properties from what we understand. And it would be awfully nice if there was a way that the legislature could do something to get them to look at the efforts that people are making. And that's my spiel. I just wanted to give you an update. And we did have a local government assistance grant for 2 years. We had it and did a lot of assessments down here. And so I'm proud of being here in Jefferson County and doing the work that we do. And you're a good partner for us, and I think we're a good partner for you. So.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, on that topic specifically, is so we had that local government assistance grant. It was from 2024. I administered out of my office. It was a reimbursable grant. And so it didn't cost the county funding other than having it out there until it got reimbursed. So this is would be an application for doing that again. And so anyway, it needs to be on your folks' radar to see if that was something that you'd be willing to participate in. A lot of our grants, the grants that I administer are reimbursable in nature. But it's obviously is an upfront cost to the county, but it does get reimbursed over the course of the grant. So.
When do those have to be in, Doug?
The deadline application.
I haven't seen it yet. So in March, I guess.
It's not too much.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
I think it is coming up, and it is a nice, simple application.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, that Lois and the crew does a great job. I try to go to their meetings every month, Doug and I do, and
Appreciate
they
that.
do a great job in trying to keep the people of the county safe. like Lois said, getting word out to what they offer and what they can do is probably the biggest challenge. And between Facebook and radio and everything else, we try to get it out. But until the smoke's in the air, most people don't care about wildfire. And
Unfortunately.
typically at that time, it's too late. So, yeah, if you live in the trees, definitely reach out to Lois and see how she can help you. And we're trying to work legislatively and in the federal realm to get this funding back that allows us to help people get their land mitigated, because it's very, very important, not just for the individual, but for the whole community, because they all have to do it to make it work. If a wildfire comes through, it needs to hit a big wall of mitigation to stop it. So we really appreciate your work and what you've done. That the garden, I don't know if she explained that to you, but there's trees and plants and all the sorts of stuff that you want to put next to your house or close to your house. Is that right, Lois? That it's kind of fireproof shrubbery, and get rid of the junipers.
Resistant, yeah.
Get rid of the junipers.
Get
and look-
rid of the junipers, please. Yeah.
and look what she's got in her garden, but she's got some real nice ornamental stuff. It's really nice to go look at it. You can see what they recommend for fire mitigation type plants that you can put around your house and stuff that you don't have to worry about them catching your house on fire. So
You gotta worry about the deer eating it.
Oh, it's open to the deer, so if it's there,
They're gonna-
it's surviving. They come and the antelope come and everybody comes and you can see some plants they'll focus on. And it's funny because after a year or two, they'll kind of move on. And there are a couple out there that they still graze on, and there are some that are fenced, that will be fenced forever, like roses. There's no point in taking the fence off, but they're beautiful, so we leave them out there. So it's kind of just a mix. And it's all on our website. We've got the whole database and pictures and information on all the plants. Yeah, and we love to give tours. We love to give presentations. If there's any groups in town or in the county, anywhere, would come down and talk to folks. And
I think we're one of the only counties. I don't know if there's another group like Tri-County in the state, but we're pretty unique.
We're unique in the scope for sure. There are other fire safe working groups that call different things, but they're generally more focused on the individual county. I'm not sure if there is another one that covers 3 counties like that.
I'm not sure there are either.
And and just for my own, Mr. Chairman, if I could, my own plug for this resource that they provide. There's only so many staff members at the county level, and to be able to accomplish some of this stuff, we just don't have the capacity to do. And so being able to leverage that, their assistance is frankly, it's a cost saver for the county, because it's stuff that we would love to do, but we just don't have the time to do it. So it's really important work.
Even on the firefighter side of it, they try to teach us to go do these evaluations on houses, which we learned, but we just don't have time to go do it. So
Exactly.
these guys will go do it for nothing and give you a nice report, and they do them all the time. So they're up on new technology and all that. So we very much appreciate it.
Right. Yep, just have to agree. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you. Thanks for being a partner.
Okay, moving back to the opportunity for public comment. This is the opportunity for the public to comment on anything that's not on the agenda that we cannot take any action on. Only thing I would ask is, prior to speaking, if you would identify yourself first for the record. Is there anyone that would like to say anything in public comment?
I have an issue. I'm Doug Sobiak.
Oh,
I live
yes,
up in Montana City up in Saddle Mountain. A number of years ago, they spent, I don't know how many thousands of dollars for the transfer station down there in Montana City. So we'd have more room. I go down there on the weekends and there's 4 dumpsters, dump crashing. I've gone down there, there's 3, 4, I mean, had 5 cars waiting. They have 2 slots open. That is it. I've asked them down there, well, that's just the way we do it. Why can't they open more slots on the weekend? I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. I was just down there this weekend. There was 4 cars waiting to get in. 2 slots open. What, can't somebody tell somebody to have like 4 slots open at least? I mean, I don't expect all 8 of them to be open at the same time. But there should be more than 2 open at once.
No, that's good feedback. I wasn't aware of it.
Are you talking about garbage, sir, or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
just plain garbage? I
Yeah,
wasn't
just
aware of that
garbage.
either. I thought they had several that could be
Well,
open.
there's one for metal. There's one for inert material. And there's two for brush and whatnot.
Cause the brush ones are, part of the problem there is they've limited the amount of brush that's able to be dropped off to 2 loads per household.
Yeah.
And that, the reason behind that is we can't haul it because the landfill it's being hauled to is closed,
Okay,
so we can't get rid of it.
I'm not concerned about
But the
that.
garbage,
But the garbage, I mean, there's 4 dumpsters, there's 8 slots. Go down on the weekend. And there's 4 cars waiting. And there's 2 slots open to dump, that's it.
Okay.
We can ask our supervisor about that. There might be a rhyme for the reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they gotta get the dumpsters full before they pull them and haul them, and they may have to, if they open them all up, they'll probably all be half full instead of completely
Yeah.
full. I don't know, it might be something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't expect them all to be open, I know that, but,
Yeah.
no, you got cars waiting. And 2 spots open,
Did you sign in there? Do you want me to get back to you on an answer? Did you sign in?
He signed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay. I can check with the solid waste supervisor and get an answer for that.
Okay,
And if there's no reason they don't have the other ones open, we'll fix it. We'll get them,
Yeah.
we'll get some more open so that people aren't waiting in line, but that's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I was down there one time, I think there was 5 cars waiting,
Yeah,
and 2,
Yeah.
2 spots open.
I appreciate the knowledge on that.
I
We'll
mean, this
follow
has
up
been
on
going on ever since they opened it up.
it. Okay,
And if
there
I
might
had-
be a reason for it, but we'll find out.
If I had designed it, I would design it a little bit different with those gates
Mm-hmm.
that are, well, here's the dumpster, and the gate is back here. I mean, it could have been designed a little bit better, but that's after the fact, but
Yeah,
you should have more than 2 slots open.
okay, I'll follow up with you,
Okay,
let you know.
that's my issue.
anyone else public comment? Okay, we'll move along. Now we're on subdivision review, final plat review, Pipestone RV Park. Dana.
So, Keith Curtis is here today. He's finished up all of the conditions of approval that we required. I think this has been going on several years now, that he's been working on trying to meet his conditions. Will you get Lois's drive for?
Is it in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. So he's finally met all the conditions of approval. He's been to the state. He's got his public, water supply, public sewer, stormwater plan, all that's been approved through the state and permitted. And he's got his license in place to operate. The last step here is just to get the final sign off from the county on the surveys and get everything recorded. So he's met all the conditions that we required him to do. And I left the plats up there, the documents are up there if you guys wanted to look at any of them. And then the plats are there to be signed off on.
I would say this has been going on longer than I've been a commissioner. And
Yeah.
I've dealt with it on several levels, from advocacy to survey review to all kinds of stuff. And I'm just happy you finally got here. And all the hard work that you put in, because I know there was a ton of it. And that's, you did that, and it's great. I think it's gonna be a great project. And people are gonna, they'll build it, they will come.
Yes.
So, good luck.
Thank you.
Do you have any commissioners, you have any questions for the Dana or for Keith for that matter?
I do not know. This has been a long time coming. And like Craig said, we're happy it's in the final stages here and he can open for business and start making some of his money back, hopefully.
You're never getting the time back, though.
Yeah.
That being said, I'd entertain a motion then.
I would make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve final plat review for the Pipestone RV Park.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Congratulations.
So
Thank you, guys.
I just need you guys to sign the plat.
Sure.
They're all, you can wait until you're done if you want to, or.
One more, and then boundary line adjustment. Saddle Mountain Estates, lot 52 and 55A.
This one's mine. This one's pretty easy. It's just a little zigzag in the boundary line adjustment they're doing. It's gonna be similar amounts of property, won't change too much. Lot 52A realized that their shop is half on the neighbor's boundary, so they're just cleaning that up just to make sure that their shop is on their property and no longer on the neighbor's or their property. So yeah, they're both in agreement, and if you guys choose to approve the boundary line adjustment, I ask that you also approve the findings and conditions that are included in your memorandum.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions? Not, I'll entertain a motion again.
I'll move to approve this one, Mr. Chairman, boundary line adjustment, Saddle Mountain Estates lot 20, or I'm sorry, 52 and 55A. Along with the findings and conditions.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. What else we got? Was that it? Oh, board members.
I'll probably need to explain them to you.
Go right ahead if you'd like.
Okay, so we have, there's an email there from Chris Hugelet. She's with the Conservation District, and they have reappointed Diane Fitzgerald to be the Conservation District representative on the planning board. So you guys just confirm that you got that and you're approving of
Oh,
that. So that's all you have to do with that. So that's the only one for the planning board. If you wanted to do that one. You wanna do that one first?
Sure.
okay, so that would be.
Diane Fitzgerald.
Okay, Diane Fitzgerald, I have a motion to approve as such
I'll
For
move
the
to
planning
approve.
board.
for the planning board, thank you.
I'll move to approve Diane to the planning board as the conservation
Right.
representative.
A second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
So then we have Rex Rogers, Mike Korn, and Bahia Eric. They are all three on Parks, Trails, and Rec right now. And they would all like to come back to serve another term.
Does that fill up the board?
No, we still have, we have some open positions right now, and we've got other applications for those, so.
Okay. So these are just reappointments? then?
These are reappointments, yep. Yeah, and they're all good board members, so I would definitely recommend them coming back again. They do go up, they do participate.
Good.
Any questions, commissioners?
I would make a motion that we appoint Diana Eric, Michael Korn, and Rex Rogers to the Parks, Trail and Recreation Board.
Second that.
Okay, any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then one of our board members did just resign, Dave, what's Miller. He was on Parks, Trails and Rec, and he did resign since he couldn't always make the meetings. So we had a vacancy, and Bill Dawson, you guys also got his resignation, so we have 2 vacancies because of that. So Lori Rathy has applied, and she's from the Whitehall area. Maya said she has talked with her, she's working with her as part of the Piedmont project down there in the Whitehall area, and she's been really good to work with. And then there's a Deborah Gay, I don't know anything about her, she's from the Jefferson area. And she's also applied. And we do have 2 vacancies now.
Good, yeah, I know Deborah, we worked close with her on the Corbin Road fiasco we had, so she was good to work with, so I'm confident she would be a good board member.
So at this point, this would fill the 7th.
This would fill this, yep, we have a 7-member board and this would fill that. And last night we talked about possibly trying to get the board expanded to allow more members because we do have potentially somebody else interested in joining, so. It's unusual that we actually have board members coming forward, but I think if we do have them coming forward, let's try to make it an opportunity for them to be on there, which we could do that if we expanded them.
No, that's great. That's a testament of the work you guys are doing. It's wonderful to see that. I'd make a motion to appoint Deborah Gay and Lori Rath to the Parks Rec Board, Mr. Chairman.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Then do you send them notification when they? Okay. Okay, nothing else on here that I can see. Let's see. Okay, then, if not, then we're gonna be adjourned.